More on this now. Congressman Mark Green, a Republican from Tennessee who serves on the House Oversight and Homeland Security Committees. Thank you for joining us, first of all.
Thanks, Heather, for having me on the show.
Yeah, what a way to begin the new year and for all of our service people who are serving. Your response to what you see happening?
I think it's proof that this president, uses a very proportional, measured response when he's confronted with these kinds of situations. If you look at the drone attack, when they shot down our drone, he essentially refused to do a kinetic strike then and used basically a computer virus to destroy their missile launchers. Then they attack us. We had 11 rocket attacks against American forces inside Iraq and in the region, and we responded with 5 attacks on their camps. Now they're escalating it even more, and has been said many times, this is organized by the IRGC-supported Hezbollah militia. There were uniforms in the crowd yesterday from the images that I saw, flags of those units. This is an orchestrated terrorist event, and the president is right. He's not going to allow another Benghazi. So.
Yeah, some news organizations just calling the protesters Iraqi mourners, and as you said, just from the images alone, we can see that they were much more than just that. Here's what Secretary of State Mike Pompeo had to say about Iran's influence last night on Special Report.
We put real pressure on the Islamic Republic of Iran. We will continue to do so. And as you saw the president say today, we will continue to hold the Islamic Republic of Iran accountable wherever we find their malign activity, and we'll make sure we have the resources to do so.
Part of those resources, Secretary of Defense Mark Esper saying that he has authorized the deployment of an infantry battalion from the immediate response force of the 82nd Airborne Division. You yourself have experience with that.
Yes, I actually served as an infantry company commander in the 82nd Airborne Division, went on the IRF many times. They rotate units. When the soldiers were in Somalia and there was some difficulty with the 10th Mountain, we actually stood up and were preparing to go to that region of the world. So I understand the feelings of those families right now as their soldiers are in the air, headed to the Middle East again. So it's a, something those guys accept every day. Those guys and gals accept every day. It's part of their job. But nonetheless, it's New Year's and they're on their way to the Middle East again. So,
what do you think about pulling all of our troops out? Is that something that we should consider and we should do?
Especially not now. I mean, it would clearly be interpreted by Iran as appeasement, as running away, just as we did, after Somalia. I mentioned Somalia, but, Bill Clinton basically pulled all our forces out as soon as we got a black eye, and that empowered bin Laden to say these Americans won't stick and fight. So we cannot do that, especially now. We've got to stay. What we need is Iraq to step up and be the ally that we've certainly treated them. They were invaded by ISIS, and we came back and basically liberated them from ISIS. So they need to do their job to protect our forces and our assets and our embassy.
Yeah, and a lot of question as to why and how these protesters or these Iraqi-backed militia members were able to breach the embassy as far as they were able to. But I do want to ask you about this in terms of pulling our troops out, because I talked to Colonel Daniel Davis just a little while ago, and he said that, we should pull our troops out, and that he pointed out that would follow the example of Ronald Reagan back in 1983.
There are people who now see that as a mistake, too. After Beirut, when Ronald Reagan moved the Marines out of Lebanon, many of us feel like that probably also emboldened terrorists in the region. I mean, you have to look at what Iran, their constitution, the Iranian constitution actually says our mission, our government exists to basically dominate the world, to expand Islamic domination of this, sort of offshoot of that faith all over the world. That's their goal. That's the purpose. And so we cannot pull out. I mean, now would be horrible. It would just empower them, embolden them. Bad idea.
Yeah, and what type of signal would that send to other countries? I've asked this of some of our other guests as well. North Korea being one of them, Russia as well.
Absolutely. I mean, all of the bad actors of the planet are watching this, and America's response is critical. Our president, again, though, he's not overreacting either. There were many of us who thought, and I was one of them, after the drone was shot down, we should have gone kinetic then. But he did a very measured response, and in retrospect, he turned out to be right. Now we're responding, again, proportionally. I think that's the right thing to do. Iran needs to be put on notice, though. This escalation has to stop because this president will not put up with it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Congressman. We appreciate your time, and Happy New Year to you. Thank you for your service as well.